Hi guys,
Hi guys,
I'm Orpheus
I'm Eva.
and we are here to share with you about our natural birth, the birthing that we did here at home, at Be Home, to our beautiful daughter Magnolia.
We did a Lotus birth, so we want to share with you what it is and give you a little introduction how we did it. Yeah, and share us a little bit about how we birthed actually in our home here with almost no assistance, but there was someone here helping us. And yeah.
So, 4 days ago, we started, it was about around midnight, when Eva started to feel gentle constructions. We call them constructions or chocolates in our language instead of contractions to create a better and more fun version of the sensations that have increased within time. So we started around midnight, it was full moon, we were dancing here.
9th of March it was.
9th of March, we put nice music and everything went smooth. However, the constructions evolved,
The
no?
chocolates.
The chocolates, yeah.
Yeah, so as you see, we're already full on breastfeeding on the 4th day, and the stomach already starts working. It's amazing how fast it can go if we just relax and just allow the process to evolve naturally. And yeah.
So maybe you can share how did you feel? Because from midnight until 3 o'clock there was gentle chocolates, and every 5 to 7 minutes, about 30 seconds gaps, and you can actually even you can either monitor that or go and download a very simple and useful application that I did as we go to check exactly, and you press start and stop with every wave, and it gives you a graph of the whole flow of the evening. And we had the doctor on board that was on call, and he asked us to let him know when the chocolates or the waves are coming 3 in every 10 minutes. So 3 waves, which about 30 to 40 seconds. And that happened around 3:30 a.m. And Eva was in a process of facing them and receiving the challenge, so she can share with you more about that.
Just a second, I have to switch sides.
So what I can share meanwhile is that from 3 o'clock the sensations increased and the intensity, and so we felt the right time to give a call to the doctor to come, with the agreement that he will be here just to support us if we need any help. And he was very respectful of that, and he came and he was in silence. The only thing that he did when he came was to check Doppler, to check the pulse of the baby in the tummy, and it was stable and good.
So you want me to share about the birthing waves?
I think, yeah, what happened from 3 a.m., how did you feel?
Yeah, so in the beginning, it felt more like we get my period. So the sensation is like you have like period cramps, but then it starts to become really intense, and the uterus basically just starts, working. And I felt suddenly like I was cold, I was shaking, my body started to clear a lot, and I was a little bit overwhelmed in the first moment because I didn't really expect that to be so intense. So I had, luckily in my toolbox, the hypnobirthing. It's a technique of self-hypnosis to relax, especially during the birth, and you program your mind that when the birthing waves kick in, you are prepared to fully relax your body. But I was somehow not on it immediately. It took me a little while, and so I was a little bit overwhelmed. And then we had some blood spotting, and the doctor said that's when the cervix opened, and that's when also we decided to go down into the bathtub, and I felt much more comfortable. We had some hot water running, and I could really, relax more, because I felt it was too tight. Everything in my womb, it was like getting really like stiff. So I needed just help to relax my body, and then everything started to flow more easily, and I could manage with the hypnosis, with the hypnobirthing technique, the intensity of the birthing waves. And Orpheus was helping me perfectly by giving me the cues and speaking to me in a hypnotic way, and singing and playing guitar and just being really present and holding space, because there is not much you can really do. You cannot really talk, you cannot really, if you feel such a strong sensation, you just have to completely surrender. And I was drifting in and out of my consciousness also in between, and it was interesting.
Yeah, and so we practiced the hypnobirthing for a while before the birth, just to have a common language that we can speak out together and give kind of guidance, gentle guidance to Eva as she went through her process, because on and off she was sometimes not with us exactly, but working with the breath was super important and helpful. And I think around 5 o'clock or something, we saw after you went into the bath, we saw the mucus plaque popping out like a red fluffy chunk, and the water probably broke into the bath. So that was clear that the process is on the go. Yeah. And also, I think it was good to be inside the bath, because you can constantly regulate the water. You want a bit more hot water, a bit more cold water, and as long as you feel comfortable. And also another practice that you did, I think it's good for women to know, is just squatting. Just prepare the body, to know how to squat.
Yes, I was squatting a lot during my pregnancy, all the way up until the last day. I was every day getting comfortable with squatting in the belly in between the legs. So you have like a frog position, you kind of like have a very deep squat, and that helps open the hips a lot. And finally, like, that is a very good position for the final stage of the birth, because that's where we're getting into now. And you go from the first stage, where your cervix is dilating and thinning, and the uterus is really like making all that pressure waves to it's massage the baby down in the way and open the cervix. And then as the birth progresses and the cervix starts opening, the head starts to be able to come through, and that's where you start also to feel a sensation like you want to push it, you want to help it. You feel a lot of pressure on your rectum also. So and that sensation is increasing all the way until the final stage, where the baby enters into the canal, the birth canal, and you feel a very strong urge to push. And that's also usually where in hospitals the nurses encourage. But the thing is that you need encouragement for sure, because you have to apply so much force, but it needs to be in a calm and relaxed way, so you can really have it in a controlled way, because too much pushing can really damage your body.
Yeah, we noticed that whenever tried to push too hard, she got exhausted and tired, and actually she needed a break. And we basically just checked with the doctor, and he said, no problem, take a break. And that was really good. She took a break, she rested for a while. However, you said that the chocolate didn't stop, but you just learn how to relax into them and allow them to come and go. And then you went into almost your own hypnotic session for 2-3 hours without anyone, just working with breath and learning how to receive them with grace, no?
Yeah. I was for like almost 2 hours, and I was just receiving that pressure waves as they became more stronger with that pushing sensation. And I was allowing the pushing to happen by itself without me forcing it, because the body does it actually.
Yeah.
And it's incredible until I felt like, oh, okay, now I can actually go into squat, and something changed, like something progressed, and I felt like, wow, okay, now I want to squat and actually bring the baby down, and there was and apply some more force, and I started to feel this like burning sensation, and it started to increase, and that's when Orpheus came and the doctor came and they checked, and they said that the baby, they felt
Yeah.
the head of the baby,
Yeah.
and that gives you so much motivation. You're like, you think like, this is never gonna happen, but then when you hear they feel the head of the baby and it's already coming, it's like, yes, I can do this, and you just push and you push and you give so much force. It's so intense, but actually it works. It's very effective.
So for the men of us that actually watch this video and want to be in support to the women that go through this very precious and special time, just be as much as you can with them and listen and breathe together. And if you have this language or hypnobirthing practice together, just follow that and listen to her needs. Don't try to do a million other things. If she needs you next to her, then that's where we should be. And in regards to the feeling the head, is actually true. You can come with your hand just at the entrance of the vagina and go gently inside without poking, and you can feel the head, this part is kind of starting to push towards the vagina and wants to come out, and that's when the process really go into it. It's the final stage. What happened then?
Then then yeah, the sensation of course becomes really strong as the head is coming through the portal. But finally, I must say that that was not even like the most craziest thing. It was just like this intense pushing, the intense pressure that was going down, and there was just a huge amount of force that came with it. And yeah, and that's when the baby actually comes out.
Okay, so for me, from the side of watching and holding, the first thing is to never give up and never give a sensation that it's not coming, opposite, because it's inevitable. The process keeps on moving, keeps on going, and the woman there in her sensations, which can be intense, and we don't understand how and what is the feeling. She may feel that she wants to give up and it's impossible and she cannot do it and it will never happen, but it does happen. So the pushing should be, as she breathes in, she needs to breathe out down, not like but breathe down as if you're pooping or something. And when we felt the head, it took about 5 very strong pushes to Eva to actually bring our baby out. And it was pretty incredible because from feeling the head, very strong and powerful waves, which in between the waves we asked her to relax, to gain force, to gain her breath again, and then to push again. And with every breath we felt the head popping out a little bit more. Until the final one, where actually the head came out, and the head comes out like really long. And so we need to help, and you can actually help with opening the yoni a little bit more if it feels very, very tight and not stretching. And our body is incredible. The woman's body is ready to push this baby out. So need to be really have trust and have the force to do this final push. And once it's out, for me it was incredible to suddenly see this live creature coming out of your body. It was like, wow. Into water, and then we took her out, and Eva did the interesting maneuver, and I gave back.
Because I was on my, I think on my fours,
Yeah.
on all fours, or squatting in a way. So I had to, if I was tired, I wanted to lean back. First I looked around, I saw the baby as he was holding her. And I was just like, what just happened? Oh my goodness, is this really possible? It was just so incredible. And to see her, I was just so perplexed and shocked in a way. Now she looks very different than she would looked in the first moment. But yeah, it's only 4 days and she's changed so much already. But yeah, and so I leaned back. He passed her to me, and I was just like blissing out with her on my chest, and she started to play immediately with my nipple. And after 1 hour, she already latched on. And that was really important because the latching on and the sucking, the stimulation of the nipple helps the placenta to come out, because your body keeps producing birthing waves, gentle ones, that are actually similar to how they are in the very early stage, in the very beginning, where it just feels like you have a menstruation or something. And it took about an hour for the placenta to be released.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah, and then and then because I was lying in the water, I wanted to really actually get up and clean myself, and the doctor actually, I encouraged him, I allowed him to help for the placenta to come out, and he checked. He said, okay, it's detached. So he just gently like pulled very gently
the cord, the umbilical cord.
Yeah, and it came out super easily, super like, and it was so nice when it came out. And yes,
So the placenta comes out as a second birth. So in case the baby doesn't latch on and start sucking, which for us it was really magical that she did, but in case not, maybe a nipple stimulation can help for the contractions to keep on moving and pushing the placenta out, because it's really important to have it as a second birth, natural and beautiful.
natural, yeah.
And the placenta comes as a sack of blood and some coagulated chunks of blood next to it. So once all of it comes out, you can clear. And we decided in advance to keep the placenta connected to the baby until it naturally falls, which that's what we call Lotus birth.
Yes. So here we have our placenta actually in a plastic bag. But it was starting to leak, so we kept just wrapping it in more plastic bags. And here's the cord that just came off today on the 4th day.
This is the cord, as you can see here. It's so amazing. And it was attached to our baby's umbilicals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until an hour ago. And
Yeah.
basically it's naturally detached, very healthy. We didn't do anything. We didn't put any lotion or cream. We just made sure that it's clean and it doesn't develop any infection around her umbilicus.
So, but just by monitoring it, we didn't add we didn't put alcohol or any disinfectant, but I was bringing her into the sun, and I was kind of drying her belly button in the sun with an umbilical cord every day, every morning, only the early morning sun, really gently, just the bottom part of her body, never the face or the head, because that's way too sensitive.
And what did we do with the placenta?
So half of it I actually cut away and froze for my own consumption, and I'm making smoothies from the placenta because it has the stem cells and it has just a lot of nutrition that helps recover the body. I didn't have my smoothie today. I have to still make it, and then the second half, which was the one that is closer to the umbilical cord, is kind of the baby's side. So I left it attached, and that we put with salt into a Ziploc to seal it. And then I had it first in a nice bag, but then that one got messy, and so we switched it into just have it sealed so that we don't leak, because it keeps leaking.
Okay, and so it's recommended to definitely cover it completely with salt that dries it. And if you have dried cumin and oregano, is also good to spread around. Lavender, some people say.
For the smell.
Yeah, for the
mostly.
smell. We didn't feel any smell, any rotting smell, anything in the placenta, and the cord, as you see, completely dried. From being attached to her and feeling the pulsation, and it's like a gray, thick, snaky cord that pulsates, to very dried skin.
Very dry, and within a day it started to dry very fast, and then on the last day, on the third day, it was already completely dry, and just this part was attached
Yeah.
for her like another day. And then today it just came off, and it's a chicken.
Yeah.
Tiny.
So what we are going to do with the placenta mainly, is buried it in the ground and plant a tree on top of it.
A magnolia tree.
A magnolia.
Because actually the magnolia tree thrives on acidic ground, so that's also very interesting, that I found out later after I actually had her name.
Good. Any other tips you want to give the ladies?
No, that's it, I think, for now. I surely remember later what I wanted to say, but
We'll share some photos in the video in between. You probably saw them already. And if you need any consultation, support,
can
or
reach out
anything,
to me.
you can reach out.
Yes. Oh, and I wanted to just also shortly kind of tell you why we chose to do the Lotus birth. I think that's important, because I intuitively felt it was more natural, and it was like an energetic cord that keeps her somehow in this in-between states of the world that she came from and into our own world. And it's not like a harsh kind of like snapping her out or through. And that was actually confirmed when up all the way until the last day, when I was sharing today with Orpheus, and I felt like, when the cord comes off, I feel like then she arrived fully to the world. And we were celebrating. Then like an hour later or so, he's sitting and she was like wiggling around, and then suddenly it popped off, and Orpheus was like, oh my god,
Celebration.
and I came immediately, and we were just like, yes, it's such a success moment, because it feels really like now she fully detached from the place where she came from, or you can call it from Mother Nature, and becoming her own being, becoming her own, also detached from me fully, because this is still a part that is kind of like connected to me. So now she's her own independent human being.
Yeah.
And the pubic bone really heals fast.
Yes.
So I see it closing down by the minute, literally, like so fast.
Umbilical.
The umbilical. So yes.
One more note to the men that support the journey. It's good to know a few energy points, pressure points, to help push the energy down and encourage the baby to descend and to move downwards. So definitely look that up and know how to do that for your beloveds.
And also feel free to reach out to Orpheus if you have any questions and you want to talk man to man about supporting your woman with a natural birth.
Yeah, with pleasure. And have an amazing journey. We definitely recommend home birthing. It's beautiful, it's bonding, it's such an amazing bonding and family experience that you bring another being into the family. So blessed you are for choosing to do that, and we wish you an amazing journey.